Hey guys, so I just got finished finally watching Orphan First Kill as part of my ongoing horror movie reviews for the month of October. I said I was going to do, movies that are out in theaters, horror movies that are out in theaters, and also horror movies that are came out this year or came out last year. I didn't get to see or haven't had a chance to review. So here's my first of the movies not released in the theaters. Orphan First Kill. Now, as far as the first one goes, if you're curious as to what my thoughts were on the first one, I liked the first one. I generally did. I saw it when it first came out in 2009, and I actually got around to watching it again a few months ago, and you know what? It still holds up. It's still a lot of fun. It was still a weird movie that I saw. That I remember it being in 2009. Um, you know, Isabel Furman, who was I think 12 at the time, 11 or 12 at the time, being pretty much becoming kind of a horror icon pretty quickly. And she was great in the fucking movie. And I love Vera Farmiga. God damn it, that woman. I've said this a million times. Like Vera Farmiga was like, it's one of my favorite, most underrated actresses out there, my opinion. And she, like, go back and watch that. She's giving that movie a hell of a performance. Like she's in an Oscar contender. Like that woman does not sleepwalk for a performance. She didn't sleepwalk for that one either. She's giving it her all, man. And even with the materials she's given, where it's kind of very campy and kind of trashy, this kind of trashy B movie that was it became kind of a cult hit, and I can see why. Um, and I didn't know it was that big of a cult hit because like out of the blue, like back in 2020 or something like that, I was looking back and it was like they announced like they're making a sequel to Orphan. And I'm like, what? It's like Orphan, that movie that came out like 2009. Why? I mean, it wrapped it up pretty nicely. I mean, the girl died at the Isabel Furman died at the end of the fucking movie. I mean, what the hell is there? How does there make the sequel? And I kind of almost forgot about it. And then I saw, you know, when this was being released on Paramount Plus earlier this summer, and I was like, oh, they're making so they did make a fucking sequel, to a prequel to Orphan. Okay, and it's starring the same girl from the first one. Okay, even though she's 25 years old now, not 12. Okay, it's like my reaction, like that's okay. I'm curious on that. And then I look at like who's directing it. William Brent Bell. Oh fuck, god damn it. William Brent Bell. You're probably going, who the hell is that? Why should I care? He's the guy has made some really shitty horror movies in the last decade. Uh, he made that movie Stay Alive, which was like a video game where you die in the video game, you die in real life. I got a chance back and watching that. That was so fucking terrible. He also made that Brahms the Boy 2 that was so fucking awful. Like that was a sequel to the Boy that was so fucking bad, and just pretty much fucking ruined everything that was that was kind of unique about the first one, and just fucking killed it. But also, he most famously made The Devil Inside, which has one of the worst endings in movie fucking history. So yeah, he hasn't had a great track record, and I'm like, you really got this dude to fucking make this movie? All right, man. It's like, come on, man. It's like that's not a good sign. And I'm like, I was worried about that, but then I saw I was getting good reviews, and I was like, okay, so I have to definitely add this because I saw the first one. I had to add this to my list of movies I saw for Halloween month of October. And you know what? I'm kind of glad I did. This movie I have a lot to talk about with this fucking movie. Sometimes like I don't have much to talk about. I definitely have a lot to talk about with this fucking movie. Uh, I did enjoy this movie. I'll say that I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It's not flawless whatsoever, but it is an entertaining fucking ride. I kind of put it almost in the same category as the first one, and that it is an entertaining ride that you can kind of ignore its flaws a little bit, and kind of have a blast watching it. Even though I will say the first one is better, as overall better movie. This movie was unique to say the least. Wow. Uh, I'll give Isabel Furman. She's great again in this fucking movie. She is great. She is great at playing this little sinister little girl or midget or whatever or dwarf or whatever you want to call her. Uh, who it is funny that they used her now because it kind of maybe the because now she's 25 years old, but she's also supposed to be playing a 30-year-old. Really, in technical terms, she's supposed to be a 30-year-old, even though she looks like she's 11. Supposed to be 11. She is 30, but it makes it even funnier now that she. This is a role that she did 13 years ago, where she was actually 11, trying to betray a 30-year-old that looked like an 11-year-old. And now she's 25 playing a 30-year-old that looks like an 11-year-old. That's fucking weird. I mean, when you sit and think about it for 2 seconds, it's like, and they do a good job with. I was worried with some of the effects, the aging effects, when I saw the trailer, but I'll say it, they did look good. There was a couple shots of like, yeah. There are parts of it you go, but for the most part, I'll give them credit. They do a lot of the camera angles and tricks that they used in with the Hobbit movies, where they were the hobbits are supposed to be shorter than the actual people in the movie, and they did a lot of those same effects that they used in those kind of in those Lord of the Rings movies. And I it looks good, and the aging effects look pretty good. And like I said, Furman is fun. Julia Stiles is a lot of fun. I was like, for the first half of this movie, I was like, yeah, see, it's nice seeing her or something again, but she's no Vera Farmiga. But by the end of it, you're like, yeah, she definitely wasn't supposed to be a Vera Farmiga kind of character. I'll get to that in a second. But she is a lot of fun and kind of a different role for her. I haven't seen her do before. I was kind of it's like kind of nice. I don't see her in many things, and it's like it was nice seeing her in something again. And she definitely played a role against her type that she never usually does. So that was kind of cool. I will say one of the things I was kind of cracking up while watching this movie. First half of this movie, I was sitting there like, for a movie called Orphan First Kill, you'd think it'd be about the first family that she killed or something like that. That story. But no, she already killed a family by the beginning of this movie. So it's technically not her first kill. You know that, right, movie? I was like, I know that's a stupid minor complaint, but why did you call it first kill when it's not technically her first kill? And she kills plenty of people in this movie before she does the stuff at the end. But, so, it's technically not her first kill. I know that's a stupid, really great thing to gripe about, but it's just something that was bugging me while I was watching the beginning of this movie. And also, apparently, according to this movie, you could easily just escape an insane asylum really fucking easily. I laughed at that. It's like the kills are pretty brutal in this fucking. I will say this: the kills are pretty fucking brutal in this movie. Nothing like too graphic, but they're pretty bloody graphic. There's some pretty brutal kills in this fucking thing. Okay, let's. I guess I could just fucking quit beating around the bush. Let's talk about this fucking twist, because that's the only thing that I think anybody's gonna be talking about with this fucking movie is the twist in this fucking thing. Okay, what makes this movie kind of make me appreciate this movie even more is that it could have just did that thing that everybody, probably including me when I first heard of this, expected it to do. And that has just become this very generic prequel to a horror movie, that you've seen done a million times before, where it's just a lot of stuff that happened before and how it got to the first movie, and kind of paint by numbers and very predictable, and just there's been plenty of horror prequels out there that have done that. Well, this movie, I give it fucking credit. It didn't do that. I mean, it does that, but it doesn't do that at the same time. I was told, I will say this, I was spoiled the twist in this movie before I saw it. I knew of the twist because I think it was like of a countdown site of like some of the like craziest twists in horror movies, and this came up. And so I was spoiled that. What I wasn't spoiled was the fact that this happens like literally halfway through the movie. I thought that would be like revealed like at the end of the movie. No, it happens halfway through the movie. So there's like a whole 40 minutes with this twist revealed. And when that twist happens, man, does that movie take a whole fucking giant left turn. It feels like this movie like becomes this whole different weird ass thing that I did not expect it to become. Even if I did, like, it still took me aback with some of the decisions it made. I give it credit. It did something fucking different and was unconventional, and like kind of it was like the filmmakers went, okay, we're making a prequel to a movie that is most known for its crazy batshit twist. So let's just make a even crazier batshit more twist than the first one, or try to make one, and they kind of do succeed. It is really weird and out of the left field, like I said, and it does make like Julia Stiles, like it's cool to see Julia Stiles do something different when it comes to the second half of this movie. Like you don't see her do something like this before. But while I do praise the twist, I do have a few questions. There's some plot holes in this twist. Because, particularly, there's two things. One, they're very vague. Like, okay, I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but you know what? Fuck it. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what the twist is, just stop watching now, because I'll probably spoil it. I'll try not to, but I will. Probably will. Just so fucking stop watching it and go in and watch the movie now. Okay, I'll just fucking spoil it. I'll spoil it. So, spoiler alert, I'll give you a few seconds. Turn it off if you haven't seen it. Okay. So, halfway through the fucking movie, it's revealed that basically Esther is kind of wandered into a horror movie already in progress, is the best way to put it. Because Julia Stiles killed her daughter that Esther basically impersonates, and it's revealed that her older son, accidentally or purposely, I don't know, they're very vague about that, killed her daughter, and to hide the evidence, pretended that her daughter went missing, and like buried the body. And the dad doesn't know. Now, I knew about the Julia Stiles part. I didn't know about the son part. And I didn't know about I figured that the husband didn't know. Well, I would think. I didn't technically all the way know. But anyways, I have questions with this twist. One, what the fuck happened? What did the son do? It's very vague what he did and why he did it. And like, was he an asshole just this whole time, or was he just a psychopath, or was he like a psycho killer and his mom was hiding it? I don't know. It's never really explained. It really feels like it comes out of nowhere, because when you meet the kid, he's not that fucking abnormal. He's like a fencing person, and it just comes out of fucking nowhere. Like he's like a killer. Okay. Like, give me a little bit more explanation, movie. You have to explain that a little bit more. And I don't think we'll ever get an explanation behind it. Also, what was up with the detective? The detective who you see him throughout the movie, beginning of the movie, he's like following the family, taking pictures when Esther first pops up, and he always is coming around, looks like he's suspicious of stuff that's going on, and when the twist is revealed, Julia Stiles just plain shoots him in the head because he knew too much. So you're telling me this detective knew she killed her daughter? He was also the guy that was involved in the investigation of behind her missing. He knew she was her daughter, but he was also he knew that she killed her daughter. But when she comes back, he investigates it, even though he knows that she's killed her daughter. It makes no sense. Like, why is he investigating if he already knows that she killed her daughter? Like, why is, I don't get, like, that made no sense when I thought about it for 2 seconds. Like, I don't know, like I said, this movie, like I said, I give this movie credit. It just fucking goes batshit in the last 40 minutes. I give it credit. It's definitely different. I give it props. Definitely the best movie really Brent Bell made. It's not great. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun. For what it was, it's fun. It's kind of like, it's not as good as the first one, I will say that, but it is a campy, fun movie that I kind of enjoyed. So I recommend Orphan First Kill. As far as my next review of the horror movies, I kind of like did them at random. Picked them at random. The next one's going to be Day/Dim, which is on Peacock, so I'll be reviewing that. Also, if I don't review that, I'll have Halloween review for Halloween Ends. I'll probably have a review for Day/Dim before then. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.